Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name is Hannah, my partner's name is Chris. We have our daughter Skylar May, our dog Georgia, and our cat Rain. This is our family channel. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our videos. We would love to have you join our journey and watch our family grow. For this video, I am continuing my story times. If you haven't watched my previous story times, make sure you go do that before you watch this one so you're all caught up. I will link them all down below. There is 3 of them thus far. But for this story time, as you can tell by the title, I am going to be talking about how it was adjusting to parenthood after we had Skylar, and then I'm going to be talking about all her milestones within her first year. So I know it doesn't come easy to most or a lot of moms, a lot of women, and a lot of dads, but thankfully, I can say that motherhood kind of came naturally after I had Skylar. I don't know why, it kind of just felt like common sense and my body and instincts just kind of took over and I knew what to do. Maybe it's because I've been an auntie since I was 10, so now I'm 25. I've been an auntie for 15 years now. I always babysat my nieces and nephews, so I had a lot of practice, and I have a big family, a lot of cousins as well. Some I babysat too, so that could have definitely helped. Obviously there was some like questions, or if something was happening I was like, is this normal? And again, I'm very thankful that my sister is a nurse. I could always have her to go to. And then of course my mother and my other sister as well, and my grandmother, Chris's family, have a really good support system. And then there's the nurse at Island Health that also calls in to check on you after a few days. I think it was like within the first 3 days that Skylar was born, I got a phone call, and they just like to check in. She came here and asked how everything was. Obviously this was pre-COVID, and she was like, do you need anything? And I was like, yeah, I could actually use some more of this stuff and this stuff. I won't say what it was because I was sore in certain areas. So she was like, no problem, I'll bring some stuff to help. So that was super nice of her. I can't remember her name, but it was one of the nurses that is with Public Island Health. If you're pregnant right now and you don't have a good support system, please don't hesitate to rely on Public Island Health for support, because that's one of the reasons why they are there, and they are so good at doing that individually. But sometimes you have to seek it out before it's just given to you, so don't hesitate to do it. They're always there. You should always have one in your town if you're in Canada. I'm not sure on the locations of all their places, but I know we have 1 or 2 just in my town. So if you have one around you, seek it out. I highly recommend it. That's where I took my breastfeeding classes and my prenatal classes, and they were free. So on the topic of adjusting to parenthood, it is really hard to find your rhythm. It's hard for you and your partner if you have one, because you both have to figure out, you know, the baby and the baby's routine, and then you have to figure out your own. And you know, most of the times you're really tired, or sometimes you're fighting with each other more than normal because you're both tired and you both don't know what to do in certain circumstances. If the baby is super fussy and you've tried everything on your list and nothing is still working, it can kind of be a little stressful and chaotic that way. Eventually you just kind of figure it out. You learn how to read your baby and know what they're asking for when they ask for it. 9 times out of 10. At least that was the case for me. Chris isn't here because he's at work. I wanted him to be present for the story time so he can kind of give his 2 cents into adjusting to parenthood, because obviously it was different for him as opposed to it was for me. But I can speak a little bit on his behalf and say that he did adjust phenomenally. Apparently I can't say this word. Oh no! Phenomenally well. We're just gonna leave it at that. I'm not even gonna try again. You know what I'm trying to say. He adjusted very well. We're still going day by day. We're still figuring everything out. But when she was a newborn, it's hard because obviously they can't talk and all they do is cry when they want something. But Skylar had different cries for different things. She had like a hungry, angry cry if she wanted milk or a bottle. She had her get me out of this wet diaper cry, and then she had her just overall cry Maybe if she was tired, or maybe if she was just frustrated or uncomfortable or colicky. She was a little bit colicky for the first little bit. We did give her grape water for a little while there. Thankfully, we haven't had to do it in a really long time. She outgrew that. I was well rested for the most part. Skylar was always really good with sleeping, thankfully. We got super lucky and had a really good baby. Despite her episodes where she was colicky, she kind of always slept through the night from the get-go. Like when I was breastfeeding her for the first couple of months, she only woke up once or twice in the night for a feed, and then she would obviously go back down and she was fine. After the first like month or so, she started sleeping through the night. So I would wake up really early in the morning and be really engorged with milk. So I would have to come out to the kitchen and pump. She took to bottles instantly. Same with a soother. The first time we gave her a soother was in her first couple weeks of age, and it was just because we came home and she was cluster feeding like crazy. So I was like, you know, she's not even hungry. She's just like sucking on it for comfort. So that's when I kind of said, okay, like we can try these soothers. And the first soother that she had was a Wubba Nub. It's the ones with the little stuffies on the end of them. So she had one with a little giraffe that we got for her baby shower, I think, or maybe just for a baby gift from one of our family friends in Princeton. She absolutely loved her Wubba Nub, and then after a bit she learned how to grab it and take it out. So she would pull it out and then get mad at herself when we would put it back in, and it was quite the game. To say the least. And one of the main questions that everybody asks you when you're a new parent is, how's the sleep and how's getting sleep? And me and Chris always kind of laughed at that question. We were like, we're sleeping fine. So I know that's a luxury because I know not all parents get that. I also know that if we have more kids, hopefully, that our next child probably we won't be that lucky with and may not get that luxury. I am fully aware that that's probably going to happen, or my karma will come back to me one day when Skylar hits 15. I don't really have too much to say about adjusting to parenthood other than we were super blessed and lucky about it. If you guys have any questions or want any tips or tricks because you're having a hard time adjusting, comment down below or reach out to me on any of my social medias in my DMs, and I will answer you. I am here to help. I am by no means an expert. I only have my one toddler, but I want to make these videos for you guys to A, share my story of my experience in this department, and B, make anybody or help anybody be a little bit more aware if this is your first baby or you're expecting and don't really know what to expect, or you're scared or nervous about adjusting to parenthood and finding a new routine. Don't be scared, don't worry. You will figure out what's best for you and your baby, and you will just do it. Even if motherhood doesn't come naturally to you, it might be a little bit hard, or if you're battling with postpartum depression as well, don't lose faith. You got this, you will get this, and you are doing so good already, even if you don't have your newborn in your arms yet. For going forth, talking about Skylar's milestones within her first year, I have this beautiful little book that we are going to go through together. It is a journal for her baby's first year. I have my pregnancy journal, which I kind of skimmed over in my past story times. I think it was my labor and delivery story time as well as my finding out I was pregnant story time. Again, those will both be linked down below. So let's open the book and see what the first milestone would be. This was her first day coming home, 1 day old when we got home. This is our first trip from the hospital. Her outfit was really cute. She had a Winnie the Pooh onesie on with some slippers that her grandma Linda had knit her, as well as just some basic tiny little pants, and she still didn't fit them. They were newborn size and she was like super small, so they were a little bit big. We don't have a handprint photo in here, but we do have her handprint that we did in a previous video for a vlog, so if you guys want to go check that out, I'll link it down below so you can see her handprint craft that we did. But we did her little footprint for baby's first Christmas. This is a Christmas ornament that we got, so we did it. If it was Christmas, she would have been just over a month old, like, yeah, just over a month old or about 1 month old when we did this little footprint. So that's her tiny little toes and tiny little feet. She had tummy time, she had a tummy time mat, and she rolled over a little bit later than they're supposed to. She literally just did it one day. We were just chilling out. She was doing her tummy time, you know, bringing up her head and her neck and learning how to use her arms, and then she learned how to roll one way before the other, and it was actually the harder way. I think it was from belly to back instead of back to belly. One of them's supposed to be harder and take longer than the other, and she did that one before she did the easier one. And then come March 2020, so almost exactly a year ago, Jesus, when she was 4 months old, she got her first teeth. Yeah, I said teeth because she got 2. She didn't get 1, she got 2. She always got her teeth by the 2s. So when she was 4 months old, she popped her first 2 teeth, and they were on the front bottom teeth. Look at those little teethies! And then it was 2 months after that, exactly after that. So when she was 6 months old, she got her next 2 teeth. And those were I think they were the other bottom 2. And then 2 months later, she got 2 more teeth. After that, it like stopped. Like it was 2 months later, and we were like anticipating that she was going to be getting 2 more teeth, but nothing was coming. Another 2 months go by, nothing. Another 2 months go by, nothing. So it was like a full 6 months, and all of a sudden, we realized that she was teething like crazy, and we looked in her mouth, and she had 8. We thought we counted 6, but she had 8 teeth coming up at once. Like all of her teeth all of a sudden were like, hey, I'm here and I'm coming. So she did really good. We could tell when she was teething, but all of a sudden her teeth would just be popped through, and we were amazed at how well she was because she was still sleeping through the night. She was even sleeping a little bit more throughout the day, or she would miss some of her naps. Every day was a hit or miss. She was just extra cuddly. Sometimes didn't really want to eat her dinner or breakfast, which was fine. Easter last year, almost a year ago as well, it was her first time having the rice cereal. That's the first thing that we gave her, and that was on April 12th, 2020 when she was 5 months old. And then come April 20th when she was 5.5 months old, the next thing we tried was sweet potato, and she absolutely loved sweet potato. She still loves sweet potato, but that was definitely one of her favorites, sweet potato and carrots. Now these are all obviously pureed at this point because even though she had 2 teeth, everything was pureed food. She was on a puree diet for the first little bit. And then obviously banana. She loved banana. The first time we gave her banana was May 31st, 2020, so she was 6.5 months old, and that actually would have been mine and Chris's 5-year anniversary, which is crazy that the first time we gave her banana was on that date. This was at my mom's birthday, so it would have been July 5th, 2020, and she had something for the first time this day. I'm pretty sure it was jam, because there was jam in the middle of the cake, so my mom gave her a little bit with whipped cream and just like on her finger. And so we took a cute little picture of her with jam on her face, and that was adorable. The only thing she was picky with was the avocado at first, because we were pureeing it, so it was kind of slimy and she didn't like it, but she is obsessed with avocado ever since she was able to have it just like cut up in little cubes. We thought she was just gonna go skip crawling altogether because she wasn't getting it. We were trying to put her on all 4s, and she would get up on all 4s and rock back and forth, but she just wasn't putting 2 and 2 together to actually move and pick up her hands and her knees. So we thought she was just gonna go straight to walking because she started scaling things more than she was trying to crawl. Like a few weeks passed and she still was progressing in her scaling, but she wasn't confident enough to actually let go of surfaces to try and take a few steps. She was very cautious. I just remember being at work, and I think it was my sister that was watching her that day, and she sent me Snapchats, and she was like, "What do you mean she can't crawl?" And Skylar was like ripping around her whole house and like in and out of her kitchen and her living room, and at first it was kind of like a scoot, like a butt scoot, and then she would go and use her hands and kind of pull herself that way. but I was like, oh my god, like she is crawling. And then we brought her home that night and she wasn't really doing it at home, but it happened very fast. Ever since I got those Snapchats and ever since that day happened, it didn't take her very long to figure it out at home. I really don't know what the difference was, but she started crawling around like no tomorrow. So we were like, okay, well, you're moving around and you're going, so I guess you are crawling. You just took a while to figure it out on your own, and we'll walk later. So I did vlog her taking her first steps. It was actually the night of my father's birthday, so it was January 9th, 2020, which I think is also really cool. Or no, it would have been 2021 because it was January, sorry. This, like, last January, so just a couple months ago, she finally took her first steps at my parents' house. I got that on the vlog. I will put that vlog in the link down below. I'm linking a lot of videos down below, but regardless, go and check it out. Her first word was Dada. She said Dada for the first time on May 31st. I thought she was gonna say Mama at first because she's sitting there clapping at the stove. I thought she was gonna say Mama at first because she was always going and like humming a lot. So I was like, Mama, Mama, like trying to get her to say it. No. All of a sudden, she comes out of nowhere. Dad, 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 dad. She was 6.5 months old. Her second word was Baba, so bottle. If she had her soother in her mouth, she would say goy goy. Don't know what, but that also meant bottle for her. That means she wanted a bottle, because she would always say that when she was hungry. She would run around the house and be like, goy, 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 goy. And then she would start to get more and more frustrated. You would give her a bottle and she would be fine. So, Baba, goy, goy. That was around when she was 8 months. The first time she said Baba was July 12th, 2020. Finally said Mama for the first time when she was about 8 months old as well. So it would have been around the same time that she said Baba. We were over at my mom's house and my mom was just playing with her and she was just like, hi. It sounded like she said like hi, and my mom was like, oh my god. So that was when she was around 7.5 months old. Favorite foods were peas, avocado, carrots, sweet potato. She loved watermelon, blueberries, strawberries, and banana. Still loves all of those things, probably the same amount. Maybe peas a little bit less, but some nights she like scarfs down her peas. So again, hit and miss. First little family trip that we had, just us, where we just went somewhere for the day. We went to Tofino, and we went on May 30th when she was 6.5 months old. We went for mine and Chris's 5-year anniversary to celebrate for the day. First haircut hasn't happened yet. I keep telling Chris she needs a haircut because her hair is insane, but Chris doesn't want to cut his baby's hair. She doesn't need a haircut. So she hasn't gotten her first haircut yet. Her first holiday was Christmas when she was just over a month old. So December 25th, 2019. She was like a month and 11 days exactly. So first holiday was Christmas. Her first Halloween was October 31st, obviously, but it was 2020 because she was born right after Halloween in 2019. So she was almost a year old. She was 11 months old, and that was her first Halloween, her little Halloween photo shoot. It was super cute. At her 1 month checkup, she was 8.8 pounds, 56 centimeters. Her 2 month checkup, she was 58 centimeters and 10 pounds. And then the next one that I wrote down was her 6 month checkup, because now we were into COVID, so I wasn't taking her for her regular checkups unless she needed vaccines. So 6 month checkup and vaccines, she was 19 pounds and 4 ounces, and she was 67 centimeters, which is crazy. She's almost up for her 1.5 year vaccines. She got her year-old vaccines, I think a day or two after her birthday. These are her little bracelets, one on her ankle, one on her wrist. And that is it for her journal. It's all about Skylar. We should have just called this Skylar's channel, Skylar's home videos. I want to do one more story time to kind of conclude all the ones that fit together of adjusting to going back to work and being a mom and doing the balance, hey? because it is a balance. It was something that I was really scared of after I had her, was going back to work. I had a lot of anxiety about it. I couldn't even think about it, or I'd have a panic attack or cry because I didn't want to leave you. But now we're in our routine and it's great. And I know a lot of moms right now might be still on their first year of taking time off, or still pregnant and are worried about it or have anxiety about it. So again, feel free to reach out to me, but I'm going to share my story time on how easy and nice it was adjusting and finding our routine for me working part-time and being a mom full-time. That concludes everything for this video. We've been really proud of watching her grow and what she's accomplished this far, and we can't wait to watch her keep growing. So if you'd like to watch along with us, watch our family grow and join our journey, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to give this video a like, it helps us out a lot. Follow us on all our socials, the links are in the description box down below. But until then, we will see you in the next video. Bye guys!